Sanjay Pulipaka. Welcome to the latest edition of Global Perspectives. Today we have with us Emanuele Rossi from Italy. He is an international affairs analyst. He is also senior analyst with the Decode 39 and Formiche, some of the leading news platforms in Italy. Welcome to Global Perspectives, Emanuele.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you for your invitation. I'm very glad to speak here.
Emanuele, you have been writing a lot about international politics on various platforms. What is your evaluation of the geopolitical challenges and opportunities that confront Europe at this specific point of time?
I do think that the principal issue that Europe have to confront in this moment is the geoeconomic theme. Let me explain. This is the era of corridors. Corridors are the connection between geopolitical and geostrategic region, and Europe have to has to manage the situation of this kind of a connection, because it's not in this moment is not easy to trust only in the transatlantic dimension of geopolitical and geoeconomic issue. So Europe has to try to arrange a new kind of agreement. For example, the Mercosur, for example, the EU-India FTA, for example, the great opportunity of IMEC, for example, the similar FTA with the Gulf region, and also with Asian and another kind of Asia countries, starting from the like-minded ones, for example, Japan and South Korea.
How do you see the recent developments in Greenland, around Greenland, US President Trump's statements on it? What do you think how has Europe responded to those developments? And what do you think should be the approach of Europe on those issues?
I think it's the moment for the escalation, and from the both sides, because it's not easy to work in this way inside the transatlantic dimension. This night in Italy, Trump talking about the possibility of a meeting with Mark Rutte, the NATO Secretary General, and I hope the natural this kind of discussion will be the solution of the crisis. I think that the natural environment to this kind of discussion is NATO, and I do agree with our Prime Minister Meloni when he say is the moment of responsibility, the moment of the escalation, the moment to erase the misunderstandings, and the moment to move the issue inside the NATO alliance. Is impossible to think that two crucial part of NATO and transatlantic relation are in a split moment, because this is they mentioned that the rivals of West and the rival of the Western Hemisphere, to talk with Trump words, I try to avoid the situation to make that split as a division. So if the proposal of Trump is to avoid that Greenland will become a China territory, or will go under China influence, I don't think the right way is to fight against Europe. The way is to create a dialogue on this issue with Europe, and on the other side, for Europe, is impossible to respond with hostility to this kind of Trump's requests. The way is to try a double win situation, a solution for US, a solution for EU, and the solution will be on inside the NATO discussion and a common way to manage the situation, the security of Greenland, the security guarantees for Europe and for US.
The other dimension that needs to be taken note of with reference to Trump policies has been his trade policy of imposing sanctions or of imposing tariffs on various countries. How do you think Trump's trade policy has impacted Europe's economic engagement of Asian countries, and more specifically with reference to India?
Um, Sanjay, the Trump's approach is transactional. We said a lot of time. This is not the moment of ideology or political view,
True,
but is the moment of a transactional approach. So
true.
in this dimension, I think that for Europe, for India, for Gulf, for the others is possible to try to find a way to control the Trump approach. Uh, in such way, Trump is easy to understand. He wants something. If you don't give to give that he wants, he try to push tariffs or sanctions. But in our case, and when I say our, I talk about you or India. We are in a the same point of view of Trump. We are democracies. We have a common value on trade, on economy, on geoeconomy, and also on political point of view. And we can try the way to control Trump, offer him some way to accommodate his request. It's not easy. I know it's not easy. It's not easy because you have in front of you someone that use the force as a first way approach. But I think that the common interest for you, for India, also for US, is to avoid the division, avoid the tensions, and find a way to understand not Trump, but the US position. Because I think that Trump is a moment, is a phase. But this kind of vision, this kind of views of international governance, global affairs, is the view from US also in the next years.
If you have to go a little more specific on how you see Italian Prime Minister Meloni's policy towards Asia at large. How is she visualizing economic interactions? Because just now you had stated that it's important that we need to diversify our trade relationships, whether it is Europe, whether it is Asian powers. Where do you see Meloni's Asia policy?
Um, um, we as Italy, we have a problem about Indo-Pacific policy because we in this moment we don't have a document, a specific strategy for Indo-Pacific, but you can see a clear path from Italian government and from Prime Minister Meloni. The recent trip in Japan and South Korea um, was very clear about Meloni and Italy interest. The interest is related to common security issue. We talk
Okay.
about maritime security, and we return back to talk about corridors, but also about the interconnected security from Indo-Pacific sphere and European or Euro-Atlantic sphere. For example, you saw the position of South Korea and Japan about Ukraine and Russia larger scale on Ukraine. But related to this, you can see also a clear position for Italy about economic security. Italy is
Mhm.
thinking to Asia and Asia partners, Indo-Pacific partners, India, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, as a crucial part for the risking. And the risking is not uh, in this moment in Europe, the risking is a real policy, is something very real because after the Russian large-scale invasion of Ukraine, Europe, European states were very tough on try the way to the risk from Russia about energy, but from China about an entire system of supply chains.
Mhm.
And this is the another thing. So security, common security interests, economic, industrial integration, trade cooperation, in a word, economic security.
I mean, you're referring to economic security as one of the pillars through which Europe and specifically Italy is engaging with the larger Asian powers. How do you evaluate India-Italy relations in the past few years? And what are the areas do you think we should prioritize?
Uh, I think, sorry, I think the priority for economic security in this moment, as I said, is to make the trade protected from our rivals, and we know that our rivals. And when I say something about our rivals, I refer about China, for example, and about the domination of China in a lot of supply chain and value chain. For example, on the chain of cutting edge technology. Or so I do think the crucial area to protect and where we have to risk to create economic security is trade and industrial chain.
The other important question that I'm interested is you mentioned about this era being the era of corridors. And you are also now talking about economic security and promoting trade between India and Italy. The IMEC corridor, India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, was
Yeah.
announced on the sidelines of G20 in 2023. How do you think it has evolved since then? What are the geopolitical challenges it has encountered? And what should be the vision for future for IMEC, in your opinion?
Uh, IMEC is a great opportunity. We say this this uh, this claim a lot of time, and I really do think that IMEC is a great opportunity. But in this moment, IMEC has some problem.
Mhm.
The first one and the biggest one in this moment is the Saudi-Israel normalization. We can say that IMEC is split into part.
Mhm.
The eastern one between India and Gulf is already super mega ultra
Mhm.
operative. The other one, the Mediterranean one, the Europe one, is really stuck because we don't have the part of connection in the Middle East
Mhm.
and that kind of connection is, you know, related to Saudi and Israel normalization. It's very difficult in this moment to arrange this kind of, let's say, political and cultural agreement, but we can hope that in the not so far future we can try a way to let's this internal agreement of IMEC possible. I also want to add that about Italy, we believe that Trieste is the Europe hub for IMEC because you know Trieste is very connected to uh, Central and North Europe, is a Middle Europe port, and is also connected to the Eastern Europe. And with the use of Trieste as an hub of IMEC, you can connect IMEC to the Three Seas initiative, for example, that is try to connect the Central and Eastern Europe. But um, uh, beyond IMEC, Italy, I think, has to try to find a way to uh, create an agreement with India, for example, a Trieste-Mumbai connection, and in this case, not only about geopolitics, but we have to find a way to talk about ports and internal procedures for make the trade more easy. And so IMEC is a great opportunity, is something on the table, and Italy is pushing its role in IMEC and the project as well. Uh, also, IMEC, we have the possibility to push a lot of other corridors, for example, Trieste Mumbai or Italy India corridor, because this is the moment to create these corridors for economic security and for the risking need.
You're specifically talking about India-Italy corridor, so that the trade relations between the two countries improves, and Italy also becomes a launch pad for India's economic engagement into Europe. So, are there any specific sectors that you are looking at in this Italy-India economic corridor that you are thinking about?
Uh, but I not believe a specific sector. You know, there is a lot. There are a lot of sectors in which Italy and India could cooperate: machinery, technologies, agri-food, agri-tech,
Okay.
etc. But I took for a wider point of view. Italy, India can cooperate with in a lot of sectors. Italy will be the door, the Europe door for India trade, for India commerce, for India interest in Europe, and I think that is more possible in the next months or weeks and years, given the EU-FTA, EU-India FTA.
You were referring to the two segments of India Middle East economic corridor. One is the India Middle East and the Middle East Europe corridor. And there has been some political turmoil in the middle space, which is in the Middle East. We have seen in the recent past some political turmoil. And recently, things have also gotten a little heated up in Iran. A lot of protests and other things are taking place. How are you looking at the developments in Iran? I mean, where do you think these things will evolve slowly?
It's it's a very difficult dossier because we know that the regime has the control of the country from deep, very deep control, very deep dimension of that control. But in these weeks, we saw a lot of movement inside the also inside the elite, the elite system of
Mhm.
Iran inside the. I think my 2 cents is that Trump is out of that dossier because he's not part of a Western Hemisphere, because it's not possible for him to intervene directly in Iran, because his constituency. His constituency, I don't think, agree with any kind of intervent in Iran. But is a very particular moment for Iran, and I don't know where is the key to help the people of Iran in this moment. Um, I think. Something big something big could happen, but I'm not in this moment. I don't have the practical way to say what is the future of Iran. I don't know if I don't. I'm not very specific on this matter because it's a very difficult dossier, and this very difficult moment also is a different moment from is different from the other phase of riots and protests. I think.
The other hotspot that we just discussed is also Greenland. I mean, it also points to the opening up of the Arctic Circle for shipping routes. Greater and more shipping will take place through Arctic. How do you think it will impact Mediterranean economies? And what are the strategies that they are coming up to deal with the new shipping routes opening up
But
across the North Pole?
the question is do you think this this opening of the Arctic route will be on the next years? I don't know.
Mhm.
Years, the global warming is pushing the opening of Arctic routes, and the Arctic routes will be a game changer in the global geoeconomy. When we talk about corridors, the Arctic corridor is something very important, but for a Mediterranean point of view and also for Asian point of view, do you think that it will be useful for Asian nation, for example, India or Japan or South Korea, to move the ship from north, from the Arctic, from the Arctic route, instead to use the IMEC when IMEC will be built, or Suez to reach Europe. I don't think so.
Mhm.
I don't think so for the next years, and also I don't think so from a geopolitical point of view. Arctic routes will be dominated from Russia and in some way from China. I don't think is the-risking routes for Europe and like-minded Asia country.
You are referring to China as a possible major user of Arctic North Pole routes that are coming up. And earlier you talked about China emerging as a dominant player in supply chains and the need to de-risk and diversify our supply chains. Where do you think Pax Silica that was recently announced?
Yeah.
How do you think Pax Silica will evolve? What do you think of its membership? And do you think Italy and others, European countries, will also be part of it? Because Netherlands is part of it. And United Kingdom is also part of it. So, what do you think of the future of Pax Silica?
Starting from a point, I think that UK is part of PEC Silica for a special relationship matter, and Netherlands is part of Paxilica for the ASML firm. You know, the ASML is the principal um, uh, firm in the
Lithographic
uh,
printing
chip
equipment.
wafer production, etc.
Yeah.
So, given that Paxilica is something great, is an initiative that is, from my point of view, only related to economic security. Talking about economic security is is you know, this is the moment of artificial intelligence. This is the moment of new technology. This is the moment in this is the moment in this moment, if you dominate the artificial intelligence and new technology, you dominate the global affairs. So, from a US perspective, create a closed system, a ring system from mining to the final elaborate of chip is crucial. It's crucial for the the cutting edge technology. The old one, it could be also open to Chinese, etc. But the high level, the level is to be close, is to be is to be uh, only only related to partners or allies. This is it. And the Pax Silica is the instrument to create this kind of ring system.
Thank you for, I mean, using such great metaphors as a closed and a ring system to develop a supply chain around silicon till the final end product of chips coming out. You have been recently to India, and
Yeah.
what have you been, I mean, what are your impressions of India, and how do you see its economic potential in the coming years? And tell us something about what did you take away from India?
It was very helpful for me to be in Delhi because I catched up the real dimension of India ambition and India and also India vision on the international relationship and global affairs. Um, I saw a country in a very continuous, very strong development. I took with a lot of people that explained me how India perceive the global dynamics, and this is what was very helpful for me because I touched with my hands the not only the multipolar, the multi-alignment views from India. It's not easy for European, Italian, Western people to delve into this state of mind, this kind of vision. But when you talk with your colleagues, scholars, academic, analysts, diplomats, etc., um, you can understand this this India this India this India vision. And I think that the India vision is something crucial for us as European or Italian.
What do you think we should do more in terms of telling the India story, in your opinion? Because you just said that it is not easy to understand India's multipolar approach, multi-alignment approach, whatever you may want to call it.
No, the problem is not about to tell more about India. It's also to tell more about India, but the problem is about Western bias in Europe. You know, I mean, as European, we look at the whole world as with a Western lens. Is not more than that. You have Indian lens, Gulf lens, Java lens, Asian lens, etc. China lens, and is our work to imagine, to understand this changement.
Thank you for pointing out that it's important to build a more inclusive worldviews between both European scholars and Indian scholars, which mandates greater interaction between European scholars and Indian scholars, and also a regular exchange of views, writing articles in each other's platforms, academic papers, if possible, participating in Zoom conferences and things like that. On that positive note, thanks, Emmanuel, for taking out time and interacting with me. And
It was
we
a
will keep
pleasure.
in touch with you, and we'll take forward this conversation. And whenever we have certain major European developments or on Italy's foreign policy, we will reach out to you and get your views on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.